Hi, Susie. Hello.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear
Okay, we
me?
were yes, I can hear you clearly.
Okay, so let's start with some very basic. Then I'm gonna show you what is DevOps. First, let me check your knowledge, what you remember and what you don't remember. That will help you a
I
little
forgot
bit.
everything. Just
Then support cannot help you. So, okay,
Right.
let me know one thing. Like, didn't you do internship tasks properly?
I
Why?
did.
Then, if you do hands-on, how do you forget things?
Yeah. I
I
guess we
don't
need to
know.
practice more.
See, otherwise, I just don't want you to waste your money on a support if you don't, if you cannot answer things properly. So see, let's see. I'll try to guide you a little bit. Um, I'll try to instruct you. So first, let's see what you know and what you don't. So CI/CD pipeline. What do you understand by that? Why it is needed?
Say it again?
Do Are you able to see my screen? The
Yes,
marking.
now.
Okay. So what do we mean by that? CI/CD pipelines. What did they mean by it?
Yeah, so CI and CD are continuous integration and continuous deployment,
Mhm.
right?
Yes. When do
And what was
you?
the question?
What did they mean by it? Like, as a tester, what did you
Um,
do with CI/CD?
yeah, so we use it for once we automate testing and deployment, right? Um,
Mhm.
like it allows code changes to be automatically tested and deployed. Um, yeah, that's what it is.
Why a tester use, like, what tools you have used for CI/CD or continuous integration and continuous development process?
What tools did I use for CI and CD?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we used like during our internship we used Cucumber, right? We used Jenkins. We can use Jenkins for CI and CD, which is the open source automation server, right? And then we used GitHub, right? And also yeah, we used GitHub and Jenkins.
GitHub and Jenkins. Okay. So now, why as a tester, why what is the importance of Jenkins or CI/CD pipeline? What is the importance? They mentioned somewhere that you need to be familiar with the pipelines too. Just trying to figure out what they have.
It's important because it helps ensure the quality. Like for automated tested, like you can integrate test scripts into CI CD. Let's say if you use like Selenium or API into the pipeline to run automatically whenever code is pushed, right?
That is the only one point, to run every test every day periodically and sending the report. That is the first thing. First answer should be that. Every test every day. Your automation test will be running every day automatically through CI/CD
Mm-hmm.
pipeline without any human presence, and it will send a report every day to you. That's why it is called continuous integration and continuous deployment. So try to understand
So
the
it
fact.
yeah, so it's like it's used to run every test every day periodically. That's when we
Yes,
use I forgot what is it called, the morning
Jenkins,
belt, right?
pad run, periodical run.
Okay,
The day,
periodical
the
run,
jobs you created
right?
different jobs for morning, for night, for smoke, for
Right.
integration. It's called jobs
Mm-hmm.
in Jenkins. Now, why is it called continuous integration? What are you integrating there? Why does it call continuous integration?
Okay. So it's called continuous integration because we are integrating the code changes, right?
Where?
Um, we're integrating them through the what is it? Database configuration
Huh?
files. That includes that, right?
Database, you are integrating database in the
No,
pipeline?
integrating code changes from multiple like developers, right? To
You are
share
a
the
tester. I'm
repository.
talking about you. They are asking you for testers. What are you? Why are you talking about developers? I'm talking about testers.
So you want to know why do we need
See,
continuous integration?
right. Continuous integration and continuous development. Why is that? Why is that?
Why
Why
is it
you're saying,
important for tester?
like, why continuous integration is mentioned here? What are you doing with continuous integration? How are you integrating continuously?
Okay. Um, I mean, what I understand, it's like um, I use the continuous integration. Why am I integrating it to CI and CD? Because it allows automated tests to run with every code changes, every time a code is changed, right? That helps tester they catch the bug early, right?
Mhm. I'm not
And
talking about that.
also,
I'm saying that integration, right? Continuous integration. What are
mhm,
you integrating and where are you integrating? Code
okay,
changes, you said. Okay, code changes, but where are you pushing that? Where?
okay. So we said creating code changes or test scripts, right? Into the tool like Jenkins.
You are pushing your changes into the Jenkins. Is it possible?
Uh,
Well,
no,
so there's the
using
thing.
Jenkins,
There's the thing. I would have canceled the interview right away in this point if I was you. So, I mean, I was the interviewer. So, see, you're writing code in your local computer, right? Eclipse,
right?
correct?
Local PC. Mm-hmm.
Eclipse. Once your code, you have written some code, I'm naming it as code set one. For example, you have configured 5 test cases today, right?
Mm-hmm.
5 test cases. Now, you are pushing this code to where? Where are you pushing? Why do you
So
make your changes? Why do you keep your store your codes? Why do you push your codes? Where? Where? In which place?
where do we push our codes?
Yes,
Yeah. I mean, we push them into GitHub, right?
GitHub. Okay, that's the answer. GitHub.
Okay.
GitHub repository.
Repository. Mm-hmm.
Now there are branching. Where are you pushing your code? In your local branch or in your master branch? Where are you pushing first?
You are gonna do it first. So when I have my code ready, um, I push it to my main branch, then it's gonna go to the master, right?
There is not your main branch, your branch,
My
Suzy
branch,
branch.
sorry. Yeah.
You're creating a pull request to merge it into the main branch.
Mm.
Okay. For example, this is the main branch. You are watching my drawings, right?
Yeah, 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 I see it.
Okay. Now, once your code is in main branch, you not once your code like you whenever your main branch is created, you created a Jenkins pipelines. What is gonna do? What this pipeline is gonna do? Every day morning 8 o'clock, it will check whatever is there in the main branch. Okay, and it will
Mm-hmm.
run. If you want, you can create Jenkins. For example, this is job one, and you named it as run main branch. Okay, and you
Right.
can create separate job too. I mean, you can do whatever you want. You can create another job two, which will run, which will check every day morning, whatever time you give, what is there in the Suji branch. So, what does it means? J- You can run Jenkins from any branch from the GitHub. Is that clear?
Yeah, you can run Jenkins from any
I
yeah,
mean, you
branch.
can create separate jobs in Jenkins, separate jobs. We call
Right.
it
Yeah.
jobs.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very important. That means now if I ask you, can you run your main branch every day through Jenkins?
Yes, because it
Main
runs
branch.
every day. If you set the time, right? It
If you
runs
set the
every day.
name and the branch name,
And the
you
branch
have to
name, it
put
has to be
branch name
included.
main. Yeah. Now, can you run? Can you create a separate Jenkins jobs that will be executed on your branch name every day?
Yeah. Hmm.
So definitely it will do. So now this is the way it works. It pulls the code from GitHub. Whatever is there in the GitHub, it will take the code from there. So you are not gonna push anything directly to the Jenkins. Doesn't make sense. Okay. Now, second thing. So why it is called integration? Okay. So now, so before, for example, it is a code of yesterday that you pushed in the main your branch and then went into the main branch, which was like which was having 5 tests, right?
Hmm.
Today in your job, right, you are every day you are writing some test cases or automating test cases every day. In the internship you did fast 5 test cases in the first sprint, second 5 test cases in the second sprint, right? So every
Hmm.
time you are adding codes, integrating codes, right? So you wrote more 5 test cases tests. So what are you gonna do? Your Jenkins is running today from main branch, correct? How many codes main branch has? 5, right?
Yes.
The previous 5. Now you're gonna push your code to your local branch, Suzy, and now how
Hmm.
many test cases it has?
5.
You push your new 5 test cases. These are new one, did today.
Hmm.
So when you're gonna push your changes, how many code it will have in the Suzy?
1.
1. You had 5 test cases before.
Hmm.
Now today you have added more 5 test cases and you push
10.
those changes to Suzy.
It will
Now
be
there,
10.
please be attentive. Don't miss it. I will not be able to
Yeah.
teach you again. So 10, right?
Yeah. Right.
So now there are 2 jobs. One is running from the main branch and another one is running from the Suji branch. So the job one, which is running from the main branch, how many test cases it will run?
So for the main branch, it will be 5. And then for my branch, it will be 10, right?
Correct. When you're gonna create definite when you pushed, so you are not doing anything in the Jenkins. It is automatically running. You just set it up one time, right?
It's a one-time setup, right?
It's a one-time setup for automatically run. Now, if you want to manually run Jenkins, that's a separate case. So
Right.
you said this. You told Jenkins, "Hey, every day morning 8 o'clock, run main branch." In the job one, in the job two, you said every day morning 5 o'clock, run Suzy branch. Correct. In the job
Mm-hmm.
three, you mentioned every day run that thing, a smoke test case, regression test case, whatever you wanna give. You can do parameterization also. So I have showed you in the class, or I think you have learned them. So what I'm trying to tell you is like you said it one time, it is running every day morning. Until or unless you wanna run it manually, pipeline. Now,
That's a different story.
yeah, that's a
Yeah.
different story. So now you have added 5 new test cases today. That means you have integrated 5 new test cases today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here. So then when you create, definitely you're gonna create pull request too at that point of time, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have created pull request again to put them in the master branch,
Master
pull
branch.
branch. Now, once your lead approves it or everybody approves it, how many test cases will be there? 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
So did you integrate more 5 test cases?
Yeah, I mean, we integrated
So now how many
5
test
minutes.
cases this job one will have?
We'll have 15.
10. Total 10. Before it was 5.
Oh,
This
yeah,
one
the other
has
5. Yeah.
the other 5 will be added here. You merged the code. Merging, right? Code merging.
Right.
You merged your code. So I have given example just for you. So there can be Israt, there can be Riazul. So
Mm-hmm.
everybody's code will automatically continuously be added there, right? In the main branch,
Right.
not in your branch, but in the main branch. Your
In the
branch will
main.
have them. Yeah, your branch will have them when you're gonna pull the code in your local and then push it. Every day we pull it though. But what I'm trying to say is like you are integrating continuously, right, in the main branch,
Mm-hmm.
and Junkin is giving you the report based on continuous integration. Correct?
So we basically have the test cases, right, in my master, and then so I always integrating them into the main using the tool like Jenkins.
Huh? Jenkins is running the job. Jenkins is
Yeah, yeah.
running the test. It is not integrating. You are integrating it with GitHub.
With yeah, GitHub repository I meant, but that the Jenkins is running the Jenkins pipeline is the one who does the running part.
Jenkins is just pulling. You're just telling Jenkins. For example, it's a human. You are telling him, "Hey, go there and do the job." That's it. Run
It's like
them.
JVM, right? For Java.
Sorry.
It's like JVM.
Yeah, kind of JVM. JVM reads line by line. Yeah, kind of JVM. JVM reads Java, but here this one is nothing but a tool.
I mean, it's
In
like
Eclipse,
API, right? It's like a sender, the
it's
waiter.
not a it's not a sender to. It's just you already send them there. You just told them, showed them, okay, this is the thing you need to work on. This is the thing you need to work on. This is the thing you need to work on. You automated that part. It will execute all the tests from those branches. It will create a PDF report. It is gonna send it in your email.
Okay.
So now in your Jenkins class, we taught you how to create pipelines from scratch, what you need to add, what things you need to do, how you need to set goals and builds. Those are
Mhm.
very, 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 very important part for this question. Uh, like this one, hands-on experience in building and executing. Building we taught you in the Jenkins class, A to Z. Now I just taught you what Jenkins does. You
Right.
point in Jenkins that run my brain branch. In the another job you said run Suji branch. In the another job you said run a smoke test cases from the main branch. So it's gonna you can use parameterized thing. You can handle different Excel file, XML file, whatever you wanna do from your code. You can do through Jenkins or any CI/CD tool. You got
Mm-hmm.
it? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that part gone. Now PyTest and JUnit. So JUnit is
Where
the
is
Cucumber
PyTest?
thing. PyTest framework. So PyTest is another framework. JUnit is another framework. JUnit means it is Cucumber.
Right.
Okay. So PyTest is a similar framework. You didn't learn PyTest, but you can see a quick YouTube tutorials for that, just to have an idea, so that you can tell at least 2 or 3 words. But if you know JUnit, PyTest will be like it will take 10 minutes to learn. If you know Cucumber, if you have done the internship properly. So you
Mm-hmm.
must know PyTest within 10 minutes if you see a video. So there's
Okay.
nothing to say there. And for SOAP UI and Postman. Now, what Postman? Okay. Tell me what API does. What is API? What is the function of it?
The API is application programming interface that
What it does?
so you mean the functionality of API, right?
Not any theoretical question. I just want to know what you understand by
Oh,
API's
okay.
work. Yeah, what it
It's like
does.
a application programming interface. What I understand by it is more like a waiter, like it's you send the information to API, and then it's gonna give you the request. Let's say on Amazon you're looking for headphones. You're sending the request to API, and API is gonna go to database and generate the answer. That I mean, this is like my understanding, not professional way, but it's like a waiter, you're in a restaurant, you're sitting there, you order the food, API is the waiter gonna go to the kitchen, place the order and come back. Right? So it's
Correct.
like
Uh,
it allows different software to communicate with each other. Um
you're creating search results. You're searching computer in Amazon. Okay.
Yes.
Whenever you're clicking on search button, it's creating a JSON format. Actually,
Right.
it's not directly going there. It's creating a JSON. So what that text is called?
What's the text called?
Yes. So when you click on search button, you're you though you have written only computer, it will in the back end this thing will be converted in a different format of text in
Mm-hmm.
the JSON format, which you
Right.
like which API will understand. So what do we call that part?
Mm.
It's called request.
Oh, request. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a
That's
JSON
right.
file. So
Yeah.
when API understand that you have sent a request, you are not sending it to API. Clear that mind. You are not sending it to API. You are sending it to database. But who is gonna carry that to the database? It will be API.
So it's like a waiter,
It's
like a sender,
like a carrier. Yeah.
carrier.
So
Okay.
once API understands that you have a request, you are so that is called API actually. So it
Mm-hmm.
will go to the database, it will take the request, it will look for specific records, and whatever results it's gonna get, it will bring that to the UI and print it. So
User interface. Mm-hmm.
user interface. So what is it gonna bring?
Um,
The thing it's gonna
the
bring what?
information about computer.
Wrong. Information is okay, but what do we call it? You send the request. The thing you are sending is called request. The thing which is coming up through API, what does it call?
Oh, it has a name. I don't remember.
My God, it's called
Oh,
response. They
oh,
won't
the
contradict.
response. Yeah, request and response,
So
of course.
they are not gonna say that to you. They will either they will hang up the call, either they will cancel you from the interview. So in API, we validate only three things: request, response, and what is the other thing?
Mm,
Different codes,
codes. Yeah.
success code, failure code, and
Right.
there is another part called authorization.
Authorization, authentication, right?
Yes,
Authorization.
authorization or authentication. So what does it mean authorization? So sometimes you are passing something to the API, so through the database from a UI, but database is sending a message like, no, you are not permitted to do these changes. Did you
Mm-hmm.
face that thing ever? For example, you are editing
Yes.
someone's profile,
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to get password, so it is stopping you there, right?
Right. It's not. Mm-hmm.
So you are not able to access in the database when the API request is not able to access in the database, it is throwing an error message, and that's one you are seeing in the screen. So there are different kinds of authentications, authorizations. You have to gather some little bit of knowledge about it. So how do you send request? How do you get response? We test it. We showed you clearly through the
Yeah.
manual testing with the postman
Yeah.
and
Yeah. I mean, using like a get method, patch, and then post
yes.
and delete. Yeah.
Yeah, another very important question is what is the difference between put and patch?
So put
Okay.
is when you're requesting like for some changes, right? And then the patch
Mhm.
is just you want to make some changes, not all of it, I think.
What? So you have a name here. For example, Shams Ivan.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow I'm writing it SHA Ivan, editing it. So
Right.
when I'm gonna send the request, I can do two things. This is the change, right? I can do
Mm-hmm.
two things. If I send the full name in the DB, it's called put.
Right.
And if I want to send only the update as a patch, as an addition, as an integration, as a modification, that is called patch. You are patching with the other names. So there is a
Right.
difference. When you create running a put thing, your existing thing will be deleted from your database, and
Mhm.
the new item will go and create a new row. Okay, at the bottom. So for example, before it was in row number 2, and it has 100 rows after that. Now once you delete it, it has deleted, and now the new records will be created in row 100, for example, because there are some other rows in the top of it. But when you are putting like sending patch, it will go to the row number 2. It will remove that specific part from the database and it will update that. You got it?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like, let's say you want to create an account and you want to change just like the password. That's
Mhm.
patch because you're not changing the whole information, just the password.
Correct. So you need to take proper preparation on that part too. So
Yeah, yeah.
you have to take
I
very
mean,
good info.
yeah, use more like, you
What
know,
do we how do we test database?
yeah, SQL by using SQL queries.
And for automation?
Automation, database.
Yes.
What do we use? This database and automation. Um, what is it?
You tell me. Don't
Okay,
you don't know?
so what do we use for testing database and automation? Isn't it, hold on, don't tell me. Uh, so we use, I know SQL for the manual part, right? And then for automation, we use like different frameworks, right?
Never. We use the same framework, Selenium with Java.
Selenium, Java, yeah.
But
I
what
mean
tool we
Selenium,
use
Java
for?
for yeah, for automation, and SQL for you know, what is that link?
If you got paused, they will reject you immediately because this is something you cannot be confused with. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Mm,
like for like automation, you use Selenium, right?
that is
Playwright as
right.
well.
I mean, yeah.
Rest assured, rest assured, and Postman for API, right? And
Post
then
rest assured is for testing APIs through automation, and
yeah,
Postman is for testing APIs through manual. That's a different thing.
through manual. Yeah.
So the way you use rest assured for API, what do you use for um what do you use for database testing? So you received
Mm,
that document, right? Before getting
yes,
prepared for the
yes,
interview.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
You see final in preparation before interview.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got
Did you
that.
went through it?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see.
Important interview questions.
What did you see
That's
that only 23 minutes? Did you see
I
that
remember.
video?
I think I went through a little bit of APM. I was working on it. I didn't go
Guys, you have done 5 hours class in a day and you haven't completed what I have given you guys for job interviews, Susie.
GDBC.
It's
Not all of it.
23-minute videos.
Yeah,
Not
yeah. I mean,
now
I
you
don't know why I
see,
started on IPM. I was gonna start with a big topic to have a better understanding because for some reason all my interviews says APM. So I'm like, I'm gonna work on that.
guys, you have like see, you have completed your course more than how many months? You could invested
I
three
know, no, but
days and you could
yeah,
crack this interview, Susie. It's a
no,
100,000, $90,000. It's not. It's not like we haven't. I haven't given you guys. I have already. Like these are the final preparations,
right, right.
right?
I promise I'll work on it. I promise.
So you are the toppers. You, Israt. We are expecting much from you guys. So
I know, I know. If I put my 100%, I know I will thrive. I know myself. Like, I'm just like,
correct,
I have other responsibilities. Just, it's not an excuse. I don't want you to take it as an excuse, but I
Susie.
need to
See,
invest at least
we
three,
have
4 hours a day.
what I'm telling you. What I'm trying to say you is like I. It is your life, your job. We just gave 100% from our side, and you have done best from your side just for this small few hours, like
Right.
How can you miss that kind of big opportunity? You have worked hard.
I have, I put a lot of all of us, we will sit, me and Ishrat and Riazo, we'll do our task. We work together like for hours and hours, and
You did
we.
everything. So that's what I'm telling you. Like, see, it was been a long time, but I tried to give you everything you need. You can see by your own eyes that everything is there, right? So
Mm-hmm,
Postman, we have taught you all the tools that is written here. JDBC is just 23 minutes video. You just do it with your one hand, watching those 23 minutes, do it in
I do
Eclipse
that.
one time. You will never forget in your life. It's
I'll
very
do it
easy.
tonight.
All right.
Soap
So
UI,
then,
I did not touch it.
yeah, any of them should be good. You did use Postman. These are similar tools.
Right. I mean, the
Principle is
most
same.
important postman things that they may ask, is it like the method that we use? What is this method? What's the difference between this one and that one?
And authentications too. They will definitely ask you different kinds of auths. What are the authentication means? What is it used for? Remember, you talked to me a few days back. I told you few items that you need to take preparation. One is
Mm-hmm.
how, why,
Yeah.
when, step by step. What is the benefit? So
Right.
authentication is what is the benefit? How step by step you need to go. You need to learn the way of implementing API tests step by step in Rust Azure. So those things you have to work on, work from your side. Okay.
Right. Right. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
go through the authentication again. What is the okay, I think we did that this Scrum, okay.
Now, yeah. So
Jaya.
those things, this, I believe you. We don't need to tell you about this one. SDLC,
Solid understanding of software development. Yeah, yeah. CS, yeah, software
DLC and
development lifecycle
SDLC.
and software testing lifecycle. I'll go through it. We did it in
Yeah,
the beginning.
all
That's
the
what we started.
meetings and everything. Yes. So those are very basics that you need to know.
What kind
What
of question they may ask regarding
whatever I
that?
have given, the manual testing related questions, whatever I have given in the document, they are not gonna ask anything out of it. I'm sure that about it.
Okay. Just like I mean, what tools, like
What
what
are
do
the
you refer
agile
to?
no, no, what are the agile ceremonies, what are the, how do you requirement, like how do you refine requirements, what are the requirement meetings you have, what are the agile ceremonies you have, what do you do in which meeting? We try to give you real-time experience in your
Yeah,
internship,
yeah.
what we do in the
That one I
refinement.
have a good understanding about it.
Yeah, so that's what is sprint planning, retrospective, what we do in different kinds of meetings. They're going to tell you the name, what do you do in the refinement, what do you do in the pre-refinement. Then they're going to talk about environment too. What do you do in the dev environment? What do you do in the test environment? Right?
Right, right.
So
Uh-huh.
they're going to ask you everything about those things. Now, Agile Scrum, okay, version control tool, Git, GitHub, right?
Hmm.
So you know already about GitHub. I think you know about Git merge, pull, push, right?
Yeah, push pull
Yes.
requests. Hmm.
Yeah, everything. A strong analytical and debugging skill with detail-oriented mindset. These are very basic that we taught you in the internship. Now, UI API, same thing. Back UI, I told you, you know already functional testings, right?
Right,
Functional
right.
testings. Whatever you test in the UI is called functional testings.
Functional.
API,
Okay.
whatever you do in the API testing, so authentication checking, response checking, requesting for different
Request
things.
and response. Hmm.
Yes, and the code, success code. Okay, and the backend
Backend
service. What do you mean by backend? Database.
database. Hmm.
Backend means database. SQL. Okay,
Yeah,
they want your
validating data.
structure.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, using
the-
database.
always they are definitely gonna ask SQL questions. I believe so, as they
Okay.
have said that. But these are the most important. I mean, you cannot skip anything here because you should have learned everything from the course. That's what I
Hmm.
believe. Now, what I'm gonna show you here across multi-browser. Do you remember how we integrated multi-browser testing or parallel testing in TestNG
No, it's been
in
like a
your class?
year.
You don't.
Like parallel testing and test ng. No, I can look up like a short
Okay.
video.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Just look that up. You
So what was
can
it? How?
see Selenium grid video too. We didn't teach you. This is very easy. Selenium, great. I mean, if test takes so much time, you can do that. In test it is also very easy. You can create different browser file and you can use parameter to run different tests, different XML file through different browsers.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Okay, now this one, Azure DevOps, right?
Right.
That is the final thing. So experience collaborating cross-functional teams, artifacts. Okay, this is just talking about different peoples. They're saying like, are you eligible talking to different peoples? Just a minute.
I mean, communication skills, right?
Yes. All right. Now, um, let's talk about Azure DevOps. What in the description they have told you like you have to have a familiarity of with Azure DevOps and for automation too, CI/CD pipeline. Okay, let me tell you what is Azure DevOps. First, let me know what is Jira for. What do you use Jira for?
Where do we use Jira?
Why do you use Jira for?
Oh, when we write test cases in like Excel file or Google file, it's like to manage and track the bugs, right?
Not only
Um,
bugs, any tickets,
and
stories.
yeah, test cases through
Jira is a
stuff
task
like that.
management tool simply.
Yeah,
Who did what, how long you did, how far you have completed, how many left, right? From the Jira board.
right.
So it's a task
Mm-hmm.
management tool. And how do you use GitHub?
How do we use it?
Why? Oh, sorry. Why do you use GitHub? Hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, Jira is the GitHub is the next thing after Jira, right?
No,
It's
no,
like
no, no. It is
to
it,
store
it is
the and
never
manage.
it is never the next thing after Jira. GitHub is a separate tool, totally different tool.
Yeah,
But why
different
you
tool.
use GitHub?
So to store and tracks the changes to code. It's like we use it because it helps the collaboration, right? Um,
It's a code management tool.
okay, this is okay. Task management. The other one is code. Okay,
Code management or version control tool.
yeah, version
Why
control.
why do we call it version control? So when you're putting when you're pushing your first 5 test cases, you are naming it as version one. When you put a
Right.
latest version of push a latest version of code with more 5 test cases, it might be version two, right? Every time you are putting different version of your code into that place, right?
Mm-hmm.
In
Right.
your repository. So it's called code management tool or coding tool or version control tool to manage your code. So now DevOps is a combination of both Jira and GitHub together. DevOps has own task management tool and it has own what do you call it? Like it has its own code management tool too. Task management and code management. Okay, together. Now let me
So
show you.
DevOps is the combination of a task and code management, right? Between
Correct.
Jira and GitHub.
Correct.
Got it.
I mean, the Jira is a separate company, GitHub is a separate company, DevOps is a separate company. They all of them are doing the same job, but DevOps has everything on its own. I mean, GitHub and Jira are separate, two different companies, right? But DevOps is one company who has all the Jira facilities too, and the uh, GitHub facilities too, and the DevOps Jenkins facilities too. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
all solution platform kind of you can say. Okay,
Okay.
all right. So now this is the pipeline that I was running from DevOps. Let me hide my top panel.
That's what you do every day, huh?
Yes, every day you need to run the pipeline. Every day you need to check. I'm running them manually, not in a daily parameterized basis. So once you
Oh,
need to,
okay.
okay. So first of all, how it is like similar to Jira. Okay, if
Mm-hmm.
I go to, let me show. Okay, master theme 5. Okay, DevOps. If you see that, if you see the URL here, dev.azure.com, right?
Mm-hmm.
Azure DevOps, we call it. So Azure has its own test case management tool. These are different test cases like Jfire. Do you remember it from your class
Zephyr
time?
Squad. Mm-hmm.
Yes. You can write test cases. Okay, open test cases. You can edit test cases. You can maintain everything from there, not from here. Sorry.
So
You,
Azure is, if you want to compare it to another tool, what would it be?
there's no. That's what I'm telling you. It has Zephyr. It has Jira itself inside it.
Okay.
It has
Okay.
different platforms. It has GitHub. It has Jenkins.
Oh,
Everything. I mean, it is a all solution tool. You
got
don't
it.
need to go to Jira. You don't need to. I mean, if a company is using Jira, they need to subscribe, take a subscription, buy the subscription from Jira. If they need to use the GitHub too, they need to buy a separate subscription from GitHub. If they need to use Jenkins too, they need to buy another subscription from Jenkins, right?
Right.
But if some companies just buy one subscription from DevOps and it has everything inside it, you can do everything. You don't
Got
need
it.
Jira, you don't need Jfire, you don't need GitHub, you don't need Jenkins, anything. Everything is integrated. Okay. And very
Mm-hmm.
easy to use mostly. So you can have different projects. So this is our projects. Okay. And here, if you see, we have so many banks, 300 banks in the United States, which has their own test cases, own items, and everything is well maintained in the DevOps. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In the filter projects, so we create different projects and test case inside them. We are handling 300 projects, for example, 300 banks. So now, for example, I'm talking about TD. Oh, TD doesn't have it. Maybe Independent Bank or Citizens Bank.
Mm-hmm.
You know Citizens Bank, right?
No, I don't have it where trust
Oh,
bank.
okay. You
Mm.
don't know about the city. Okay. Whatever bank you have in your area, you will find them.
Bank of America, Chase. I actually, they called me for, they submitted my application for, I forgot the name of the bank.
Bank of
Federal Bank. Federal? Is
Federal
it familiar?
Federal American Federal Bank or Federal
Yes,
Bank of
that one.
America.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah. He
we
said
have
he's
that
gonna
here.
call me this week.
Okay, let's talk about Federal Bank then. Um, we are controlling Federal Bank too. They are using our application, I believe. So Federal Credit Union, I guess. All South Federal Credit Union and another one is Federal. These all are Federal. I think Federal Credit FCFU Federal Credit. Okay, he come Federal Credit Union. You could go for that. So for example, this is one test plan. Okay, it has. I mean, this is one project. It has their own test cases: how to register account, how to do things. Okay. So for example, navigate to the login page. Click on registration link. This is a test step, right? That thing you do in Jfire. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It has pass, fail, all the results marked here, and it has different kinds of test plans. So different team are using different test plans. But for our automation, this is our test plan. We create test cases here. I mean, we copy manual test cases here. Remember that manual
Yes.
test case are copied in our test plan, not project test plan. Okay, these
Right.
are test plans, individual test plans. So there are thousand teams working on that. So we have our own test plan where our team is working. For every FI, we have this test plan. So from where we can see the test step and we can integrate it with our automation. You are recording the video, right?
You know what? I missed the. I hope you recorded the first part.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I have the two parts
Please
of the
send them
video,
to me my way.
but I'm not sure if it is recording my voice. I thought you are recording. Let me
Oh,
see.
my phone battery is low. That's why I like.
Oh, you don't have any recording tool in your computer.
Yeah, I should have used the
I
what is it called? The snipping tool.
My bad. I think it is not recorded. Okay.
No?
Oh no. It should be. Just a second. No, it is getting recorded, I guess so, because I see the border.
All of them?
Hello. Hello, it's getting recorded. No, no, no. It's getting okay. So what I was saying is like you have the test plan itself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we run our automation from pipeline, that means when we run our code in Eclipse, okay, we have our code, our test cases in the Eclipse. The if one test fails, it marks fail here directly.
Right.
I don't know if you know that functionality. Our test is failing in our code, but it is coming here, marking it as failed. How is it happening? Through API. We integrated
Right.
some API changes with this name. Whenever it finds this test name with the test case ID, I mean, not test case ID, with the test suite ID, this is
Mm-hmm.
called test suite.
The suit. Mm-hmm.
These are different suites, retail, desktop, whatever. We can have multiple suites, right? So it has a separate ID here, and our test plan itself has a separate ID. If you click on the test plan here, you will see the different ID here. Okay, so we
Mm-hmm.
mentioned that in our Eclipse, we mentioned that go to this test plan, which where ID is this one, and then find out this test suite where ID is this one, and then go inside and look for the specific name and mark the status as passed or failed based on the current test. Okay,
Right.
that's the easy
Mm-hmm.
English. And we do it with code with this by sending some API requests. Okay, that's a separate part. So it has test case writing and management facility in different test plans. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so that is the first thing. In different test plan, you can put different test cases. Now, another part of it, as I mentioned, GitHub, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you again, Azure DevOps. Now here is the, if you look at the URL here, it is DevOps.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me,
Mm-hmm.
why is it not clicking? Just a second. Oh, okay. It just logged out. Just a second. See intermittent connection issue. Okay. Logged in again. Okay. So now you can see DevOps. The first one starts with Azure, the second one starts with DevOps, right? Two different part. So Azure
Mm-hmm.
part is for maintaining test plan, test cases, manual stuffs, right? And DevOps part are maintained for automation related stuffs.
So
That part,
Azure is for manual?
yeah, actually Azure DevOps is a combined company.
Oh, okay.
But if you see the manual test cases here, dev.azure.com. You see
Yeah.
where
Mm-hmm. Dev. Yeah.
not DevOps, if dev.azure.com. Now, if you come here, you see devops.dcit.com. So Azure and DevOps are different part for maintaining different like manual and automation, two different things. Okay, but Azure DevOps are combined too. These are different sections of each other. Okay, both of the tool are belongs to the same company, which is see here. You see.
Azure DevOps. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So Azure controls the manual part, DevOps controls the automations part and the
But it's
pipeline
like
part.
it's like they work together.
They are together. Yes, that's the same company. Belongs to the same company.
Okay.
Azure DevOps is the main name. Here also it is written Azure DevOps, but URL shows only DevOps at the starting. That means DevOps part is for developers options.
Right.
DevOps. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Developers option. So developer doesn't do anything manual test cases or something like that. That's why they call it DevOps. Okay. Now GitHub, how it happens, like go to repository, right? In the GitHub, you have
Mm-hmm.
different repositories. So now if you click on repos or if you go to hover on repos, you're gonna see lots of branches. You see here, branches,
Mm-hmm.
pushes, pull request, everything that you see in the GitHub, commits, okay? So many things.
Pipeline. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Pipeline is also there. Let's talk about the GitHub type thing first. So there are so many branches for different bank names. These are not with any individual person's names. Okay, we
Mhm.
have so many main branch. How? So what do we do? For example, next gen ECFED. Next generation is the theme name. This ECFED is a bank, Agricultural Federal Union. Okay, so we create a temporary branch first. For example, you create Suzy branch, then you push your like unverified changes there, then you create pull request, right, to the main branch. So that's how we create a temp branch of the same name. Okay, let's take example of this one here. uh okay, here next and Bosch here is the main branch
Mhm.
in your example, in your how you practiced. And next gen temp Bosch here temp is the Suji branch, right? Suji.
Right.
So now you keep push your like unverified changes here. Then you create a pull request to put them in the main branch. So for all the FI or financial institution or for all the bank, we have the similar stuff. We push our normal changes to the temp branch and then merge them into the master branch. Okay, so
Right.
that means it has a so that place too. Now come to the pipeline part. If you go to the pipeline, if you see that simultaneously so many pipelines are running together now for different banks. As I showed you a few minutes back, can you run Suzy branch from the pipeline from one job? I said you can. Can you run main
Mhm.
branch from another job? I said you can. So we have hundreds of jobs pointing hundred of branches. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we use pipeline. So, I
That's why
mean,
you
it's
use pipeline for it. Is yeah, you see it is running now. Nobody's running that. It's gonna run. Once it is completed, it's gonna create the result for us. Let me show you one thing. Okay, for example, first foundation. It automatically executed. Now, if anybody wanna know what happened to the first foundation bank, what are the smoke test cases there, what are the situations, they will come here, they will open it, they will download the report, and they can see everything there. Show they can see all the results. Okay, these things passed, this suddenly failed. Then they can investigate. Oh my god, two test cases has been failed. What happened there? They will go and immediately check and fix it tomorrow morning. You got
mm-hmm.
it? That's why
Yeah,
pipeline is needed. There are 67 test cases. If you wanted to do it manually, it
it's
would
gonna
take the
take
whole
time,
day.
of
One day,
course.
1 or 2 day. But you cannot invest every day to test everything, same thing every day. You have
I mean,
different
if
jobs to
you
do.
set the time, like run it at 9 p.m., by the time you come in the morning, you see it like ready, right?
Exactly. So that's the facilities. That's the benefit of pipeline. Everybody has their pipeline running on. I have my own pipeline, for example, Shams test, right? So if I go there,
Mm-hmm.
I can point to different. I executed it like a few while back, and I saw that after 1 hour of execution, it has been failed. So I can go there and fix it tomorrow morning, right?
Right.
So so that's what I just wanted to let you know. Like this is how pipeline works. You
Yeah.
create pipeline, you set it up. In DevOps, it is very easy. So I can go to my pipeline. I have configured it one time. So click on run pipeline, and I can select the branch here. If you select Suzy from here and click on run, you are running it manually, but you are running it directly your branch. Okay. But now if I want
Mm-hmm.
to run it periodically, I can click on edit. I can go to triggers through the like the
Yeah, trigger.
pattern, and you
Mm-hmm.
can go to here like scheduled, right? You can add
Mm-hmm.
different schedules from here. Click on add button. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and you can put hours, what hours, what time you want to put,
Mm-hmm.
Pacific time, Eastern time, whatever you want to put, you can put here too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very easy. Like in Jenkins,
I
you had
mean,
to put
I mean,
pad
when you
run.
do it manually, you have to do it from your branch, right?
I can do it I can run any branch manually.
Manually from your branch, yeah.
Yeah,
But if
I
you,
can run, I can run any branch. Like just hold on a second. So, for example, I want to run someone else's branch manually. I can go to pipeline. For example, Dollar Bank. Somebody told me, "Hey, I want you to check if Dollar Bank all the tests are passing or not." I can come here. This is the dollar bank. I can click on run pipeline, and I can. It is selected already here. If I click on run, it's gonna run.
Okay,
If you
I
click
see.
on run, it's gonna run. How do you know it's running? You see agent job one.
Uh-huh.
It is running
Yeah.
from here. If you open it, it will open. You can see
Mm,
the logs here.
right.
There is one important part that I'm gonna show you. Just hold on. So there are different jobs it is doing. Okay. First,
Okay.
it is initializing the job. Then it is checking out your repository from GitHub. Not GitHub here, we are using DevOps. But in Jenkins, it checks out to the GitHub. So it is checking out. You understand what does it mean by checkout, right?
I mean, is it like once it's
Switching.
done, you check it out, like the
Checkout
result?
means switching. Switching. In your GitHub, you're
Oh,
supposed to know. Switching to
switching?
the
Okay.
yeah, switching to that branch. That means check out to that branch. You switch to the main branch, you click checkout main. You switch to the Suzy branch, you write checkout Suzy in the
Okay.
GitHub. I mean
It's
in the Git
switching.
bash. Git bash,
Got
yeah.
it.
Git checkout means switching to that particular branch. So it is switching to the dollar bank. Now it is still switching, it is taking everything. Then it's gonna execute when like whatever you see in your Eclipse command line, right?
Mm-hmm.
They will come here. So
Command
before that,
lines.
everything happening, it is just getting prepared to run your test cases. So it is very important part. From which part of the pipeline in DevOps you see your codes, you see your changes. It should be command line script.
That could be a question, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like whatever see your in your console in the Eclipse, in which part of the pipeline you see them? You see them from
Command
command
line
line.
script. Mm-hmm.
Command line script, yeah. There will be multiple sections like initialize job, checking out to the
Check out the
repository,
switching.
closing. Yeah,
Close.
you see, whatever is passing, it is automatically triggering it to green tick mark. Parameterize, everything is going to be done. Now it is checking your Maven, I mean pom.xml. Without
Mm-hmm.
configuring pom.xml, we cannot run pipeline through Jenkins or anything. Do you remember?
Yeah, of course.
We are doing the
Mm-hmm.
same changes here. Then when it will check the pom.xml first, so from here, it is gonna install all the dependencies. It's gonna
Right.
check everything. Then it's gonna go to the command line and it will start executing your test. You got it?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, Maven is for dependency management.
Maven is for running test cases. Pom.xml is for dependency management. Not only dependencies, jobs, everything. The
Oh,
properties.
okay. I thought like
Maven.
POM is for UI testing, like the user interface.
No, POM is for dependencies. Like if you wanna use REST assured API testing, you have to add the dependencies in POM XML. If you wanna
Okay.
use if you wanna use, for example, database, you have to add the JDBC dependency. That is there in the POM XML. You are using Selenium, that is there in the POM XML. So, let me tell you in short, what is happening now, do you know? There is a computer, okay,
Mm-hmm.
somewhere in the server. They are just, the computer has nothing, only it has browser, it has Eclipse. Now it is installing all the plugin which was in your computer. For example, you had whatever dependency you had, right? It
Mm-hmm.
installed everything. If you go here in the Maven, here you're gonna see, you see it is adding org Apache Maven, you see
Right. Apache
it is
UI.
adding, yeah, it is all like that. You're gonna say, get Selenium, everything.
Right.
You see it is adding
Right.
Selenium and everything. Okay. Whatever
Mm-hmm.
is added is gonna skip that. But every time you kick off the pipeline, every time it is gonna check that whatever in your form XML are they present in that particular computer or not. There is a
Okay.
computer. Your tests are running in a different computer. Okay,
Right.
virtual machine. Now in the command line, it has actually started your what? It has actually started your actual test. It
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
failing. Whatever it is failing, it is saying here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You get that, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is Azure DevOps. It's very easy. Just try to recap the video. I think there's nothing to show. Do you have any questions for anything here?
Oh, so you did mention check out this switching, right?
I have
Um,
mentioned you so many things here. I mean, you already learned the similar tool. You have used the similar tools like Jenkins, GitHub, and Jira. It's a combined
mhm.
tool. I have just tried to give you a view how it works.
I mean, I learned today that DevOps and Azure are like a one thing. Azure is mainly for manual testing and DevOps for automation.
Correct. And in DevOps, you can do so many things.
Right.
In the boards, if you have any automation bug, if you click on boards, you have work items. You can create automation defects and any other defects too here in the work items. You can keep make it as a note too. Whatever you want, you can do. So it has everything. In the test plan, if you click on test plan, you're gonna go to the manual part. Okay.
Hmm.
So if you click on all, it's gonna give you everything like different test cases, test steps, so many
Right.
things, test
Hmm.
cases. Okay. So yeah, that's all from my side. So
Yeah.
I just want you to fall down back. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Send me the videos. I'll go through them. I'll go few for a few, try to go through the interview mock questions, right? Because they may ask that as well.
I
And
mean, try to give them answers like you have really used it. Don't try to give them like memorized answers. They can easily find it out the way I found it out. But I said you directly that okay, no, it is wrong, it is right. They are not gonna say that. They will
mm.
just laugh and they will go back from the place.
Oh
That's
my,
why, yeah, that's why we tried our best. We took a year, more than a year, to prepare you guys.
yeah. So you think I should like try to give them examples based on my understanding, right?
Yes, 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 definitely. You have to. Okay, okay, Susie. So I have to go back my work.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time. If you can send me the videos, please.
Yeah, yeah, I will definitely send you and I will add them in the class too.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.